Hey, welcome to Katrina In Wonderland with your host Katrina Lee. This is my new show. This is the first time, so bear with me, as Sky Sands would say, bear, grr, with me. So he's one of my favorite local comedians in Rochester. And I don't know. I'm keeping it kind of like a variety show. I'm going to have different guests in of all different walks of life. Doesn't have to be like prior. My show, which I had for almost 4.5 years, was kind of like a rehab, domestic abuse type, positive. Like my life was here, then it became there in the adult industry. And so now this can be more anything. Movers, my friends, just we could randomly do interviews even with homeless people and stuff and just all different topics. So I'm excited and I do a lot of fun things all over the place. And this is going to be more featuring that on like cool events to check out, concerts, all different happenings in Rochester, Buffalo, outside. I go to Erie on a regular basis. Syracuse bring me back up to filming there. So a lot of good things. So this is my first time. I have Todd, and he's here, and he works at Zito Movers. He's been my friends for a while, and we have Gary, who's our sound guy, like producer for the station, so he's been commenting on going on this show. So we are all three are involved with this Auctions for Animals group, and they do spins. It's kind of like gambling for charity. So it is actually, it goes to charity legit. So last week we all won on like Monday. We all won stuff. Gary won this meat box, a man crate. Todd won a whole box of all different candies, and I got a B solar powered light. So we're all sitting here because the spin started at like 10, like looking at our phones still. I'm in for like a tent and a trampoline, so I'm paying attention enough. But I have been watching this show lately. It's called Worn, and it's Worn Stories. There's a show about clothes. It's on Netflix. So it's based on the book by Emily Sparak, and it's ourselves, real people, and stories of their meaningful clothing. So I liked the one specifically with Charo, and I remember her from being, I mean, obviously she's a legend on the screen. If you're older, everyone would know who she is. Tons and tons of movies through the years, and married very, very rich men, and very successful and all about plastic surgery. But she was on there, and I remember her from Pee-wee's Playhouse. As a kid, the Christmas special that we watched every single year. But I mean, that was awesome as a kid, so I knew who she was right away. And super excited. So she was on the one with the Vegas, and it was Vegas. There's a female wrestler. The show is Chance Let It Ride. And she said, like, her family and her section was, like, she had money, she had all this stuff, acting and everything, but her family made her a custom dress since Americans couldn't embroider like they do. And she was calling herself a lucky bitch that she like managed to get so spoiled and show the picture is gorgeous. So my Warren story is my Rocky shorts. I was in Hustler magazine and I featured and traveled all around and I made these shorts. I hand sequined them. I mean, it was an unbelievable labor of love, the right way, how they used to make it. Like, I mean, I don't know, 2,000 plus hours of just smoking pot and sitting in front of the window and like go, oh wow, Gary just won on this spin.
I won?
So
Unbelievable.
now everyone's just all right. I don't even know why we're doing. We should start this show at 10:30. Honestly, for myself too, but sorry. So I made the shorts. I traveled all around. I mean, tons and tons of time. Drop Dead Gorgeous. I came out, I featured, it was the Rocky theme song, Living in America, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. I mean, good time. So it made me a lot of money and it meant a lot because I made it and I still have them and I'm never going to get rid of them. Even if I'm so fat, I can't wear them. And I'll just think like, God, I used to be hot back in the day. Remember that. And so what is your Warren story, Todd?
Mine has to be, well, I have a huge collection of Superman shirts. And I have one that was made with a cape actually sewn to the back of the shirt. I don't wear it very much just because of it's very special to me and I don't want to ruin it or anything. But yeah, that would be mine.
Very cool. And Gary, what's yours?
Mine would be a leather jacket that I've had for like 5 years that it tore like a year ago, and I brought it to Taylor and they're like, you don't want to fix this. I go, yes, I do. And they fixed it, and now it's tore like in 6 places. I got a brand new leather jacket. You think I could find the garbage with this old jacket? I can't give it up. Just too many memories and stuff. I'm going to use it for when I'm doing something rough that I need, a coat and not worry about it, But that's it.
Yeah, no, I realized that. I noticed that it can be a man thing. It's usually not generally with women. Like, we keep nice pieces of clothing together, while men will let it get all ratty and stuff because comfortable, they don't really care. And I had this mentally unstable ex, legit, was just odd. And he wore this Sabres jacket with his father to a game before his father passed. It was really old. It was so shredded and ripped up and just absolutely disgusting. He looked like he was homeless. When Gary swung by my house one day, he was outside snow blowing, and he just looked so ridiculous because it was just so bad and ratty. And like, people didn't realize we had money. People didn't realize he was a doctor and all this stuff. Like, they treat us like we were poor. Which, I mean, I guess like people do judge you for your clothing, but yeah. I'll never forget that hideous jacket. I really wanted to like just burn or disappear, but I couldn't do it because meaning for him, and that'd be cruel. But yeah, I went out a little bit for Dingus Day. Pulaska is a big holiday, and Cleveland and Buffalo is expanding slowly in some places, big with Polish individuals, with pierogies, and usually it's a big drinking holiday, and they have a parade, and all the bars are open. But because COVID, it was all toned down. And between my family and my sister and everyone, it's been nonstop pierogies. So I'm definitely taking a break. So, Todd, what did you have for Easter? I heard you wanted a charcuterie board.
Yes, I did, through the auctions for animal sites that we were just talking about. And it was a very big hit at my parents' house. My nephews loved it. My brother, his wife. I was going to bring the leftovers to Katrina, but there was not enough left to bring back to her. It was such a big hit there. So, yeah, it was, the traditional ham, baked potato salad. We're very simple when it comes Easter time.
Yeah, no, we never really ate ham and stuff like that growing up, so my mom was making jambalaya, but my sister took it over, so now it's more traditional again. But we're laid back. It's like buffet style, wherever you want. Like, everyone just sits where... There's no, like, growing up, like, that's the kids' table and that's the adult table, and you were so excited to work your way. Lilac Festival is still going on in Rochester, which I'm really excited about. I'm really looking forward to concerts and live music. I'm not sure what's going on because I thought Rage Against the Machine was coming July 19th still, and like it looked like it was. I saw the the KeyBank Center, HSBC, whatever it is, where the Sabres play. And I was just looking forward to it. Like, I love Rage. And so I got the tickets, and then I heard today that they're, like, rescheduling until 2022.
Possibly, but I did hear that Darien Lake was going
starting
to
go, and that's why I was confused, because it seemed like they were coming back. So I don't know what's going on, or if I was just had people who were going off old websites, or it wasn't updated yet. Because I was talking to the owner of VIP tickets, so... I set myself up with meet and greets. Like, I love Rage Against the Machine, and I was going to go all out, like, Rage shirt, and I was going to wear my old Jenkos and, like, a chain wallet attached and hanging, like, swimming in my clothes and, like, a dog collar on my neck. Like, full on, like, 2000, like, grunge, 90s grunge. Yeah. Like, Family Values 98, 99 with Korn and Disturbed and all that stuff. Limp Bizkit. I know. I love I actually don't like to eat corn, but I love Korn, the band. Just all let the rage out. But my favorite Rage Against the Machine song is Killing in the Name of. And I won't completely say it, but I had a stepson before, and he looked at me and quoted it when he's like, F you, I won't do what you tell me. And I couldn't figure out where he got it from, and he's just, like, saying it, laughing at my face, and I, like, held myself back.
And then the light went on.
And I realized it was my song, and he was saying it because he thought it was cool, so... Yeah, Lithium. The only 2 shaky songs you don't want children accidentally catching is "Rape Me" by Nirvana, and it is Korn Rage Against the Machine, Killing the Name of. So those are the only ones. Like, other ones, rap, you got to worry about stuff way more. I mean, those were surprisers. I didn't realize they're topics you want to discuss. So we are going to cut into a song break, and then we're going to talk about Godfrey, which is coming up at Helium in Buffalo, one of the first comedy shows I am seeing since COVID. Little Rusted Root. This is Rochester's favorite band, and so we all got used to it. They're always at every festival, RIT, everything. So good times. This is Katrina in Wonderland. I'm Katrina Lee. We have a brand new Facebook page. It's Katrina in Wonderland. On there, we got maybe 150 friends and stuff so far. I've been fanning it out and likes, working on it brand new, a whole new show concept. I do have lots of years experience on the radio and in movies and everything. So this is cool because it's my own complete show with any topics. So it can show like how widespread and diverse and all different places and things I like to do, or people, all different friends from all different walks of life. So it's more showcase instead of having to keep it onto like a topic like this is strip clubs, this is nightclubs, this is like rehab things. And so it's more me and it's more my music because I'm actually going hands on and picking songs I want to hear that I like. Even though we can cut it out, it's pretty easy. So I am going to see Godfrey at Helium Buffalo this weekend. He's been on BET, VH1, Comedy Central, Zoolander, Johnson Family Vacation. I actually really haven't seen him. So he's one of the more modern, newer comedians, I guess. I mean, he's been around for years, but not huge. I thought I was seeing Gilbert Gottfried. And I was like, oh my God, the little parrot from Aladdin and stuff. And it is not him. So it's still going to be good. It's going to be a fun time. I'm excited. It's my first comedy show in a while. So I'm going to kind of see how social distancing is. And I guess you have to order food too because of how it is. You got to sit. So it jumps up. And that's how they make money. We talked about earlier on my other show, Upstate Eats. That with concessions and hot dogs at the ballpark and the movie theaters, popcorn's really what they made their money on. It wasn't the tickets. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll give everyone a rundown. I have not been to Helium at Buffalo since Jezime Paluzzo was there, and she was on Girl Talk on MTV. She was hysterical, and pre-COVID and several years ago. So I'm looking forward to this, and I'm sure there's other things that are newer in the area of I think Lockhouse Distillery, the vodka place is there. So definitely check it out to talk. And so, Todd, what's your favorite comedian?
I have a couple. Shows my age, but Richard Pryor was just outstanding. And then I would move on to Eddie Murphy. I think Eddie Murphy Raw is still one of the funniest comedic shows ever made yet. And then to go more recent, I'm a really big Tim Allen fan. I think
From Home Improvement? I didn't even know he was really shooting around in comedy stuff.
Before Home Improvement, he started as a stand-up comic, and that's what paved
yeah,
the
didn't he do
way.
something weird, drunk and offend people?
He did, and then his show got taken off.
Yeah, I remember
air
something. Yeah,
because he was anti-Obama
in his book or
something,
and
then he was very candid. I mean, he had a huge cocaine addiction that he wrote about.
Yeah, I remember that's what it was
in a book, and like I said, he just based his show off his stand-up comedy, and it led to Home Improvement, and we all know how that, went for him.
I know, really. And isn't there another show he's on now? I'm not even sure.
He reunited with the actor who played Al, and they're doing... It's still like a Tool show, but they're actually doing real projects. It's not like on
a
the
demo
show.
thing.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Gary, what's your favorite comedians?
I really don't have favorite comedians.
No, some people are really into it and love it and know them all, and other people don't.
But I am a big fan of listening to the comedy channels on XM and driving down the road because sometimes it just makes it go so quick and I'm out loud laughing at it. But as far as one person, and I love going to the comedy show in Rochester. I've been there a few times.
I have not. I have yet to go to Comedy at Carlson, and I'm looking forward to it when everything kind of reopens.
Yeah, they got shows now, and they got some amateur nights that are going right now and stuff. So.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for some bigger ones. But I like Dave Chappelle a lot. I think he's hysterical.
Chappelle is very funny.
Yeah, I'm not trying to retard. I like him. I like Seth Rogen, but I mean on stand-up comedian Dave Chappelle. Oh my god. I like Kevin Hart, like the comedian. I think he's great too. He sells out everywhere. Gabriel Iglesias. No, is it? Yeah, the fat guy. He's great. I've been watching that show he has with the food reviews and traveling all around, and that's a good one. And then Liza Schlesinger, she's fabulous female, talking about that she's an elder millennial like me, and just is so real and fits everything in my life, and I could just laugh and laugh and laugh. So I mean, those are my favorites. So upcoming. So this has been a really big week for me, which we'll get into more discussion. But I mean, it was Easter, then it was Dingus Day Fun, and then Tuesday my movie came out. It came out in theaters, but theaters aren't open in New York, so we had to wait for streaming. The closest theater was in Delaware, so that's not even like let's go to Erie trip. It was like, eh. And so that came out Assault at VA 33. The new radio show, working and planning on it for today and starting all over with concepts, which luckily I'm a quick learner and jump on things fast and can rebuild quickly. Thank God. My whole life has been like building, rebuilding, building, rebuilding, but entrepreneurs are successful with that. And tomorrow is, aside from the comedy thing, that's my big thing. I'm delighted for you. You season 3 comes out. That is my favorite show on Netflix. I caught it on Lifetime. I fell in love with it right away before everyone knew about it on a fluke. I was watching the Bad Seed remake, and it came on right after, and I'm like, oh my God, this reminds me of this person I know. And it's all like this creepy stalker who ends up killing and all this stuff and like obsesses, but he weans in your life, and you don't realize like he acts like he cares, and you think he's harmless. You don't know, and he gets away with a lot. So I read all the books by Carol Kepin, and then so it's gonna be out. That is gonna be everyone leave me alone. My phone volume is shut off. I'm not on it. I'm gonna watch you the whole season and marathon it.
Gary, I don't know about you, but I'm going to take a bet that I don't think she can turn the volume off on her phone.
She's been good at that lately.
I'm just basing, especially on her acting.
Well, Gary knows how I am about you, so I'm sorry. Certain stuff, American Horror Story and You, gets prioritized.
That's all I heard was about this You and how ironic it all was. And
it reminds me of this guy that I knew and all the stuff he did. It was just like me. It was so dead on. And then I realized how the stalking and some of this weird stuff that happened with my ex-husband occurred. Some of it, like things you don't even realize. And then there is like a weird, creepier stalker person who concerns me, but we keep like a safe, like keep your enemies close. Yeah, we're keeping them close and guard, but yeah, you never know what could happen. But we are going to cut into a song break, and we're going to hear more about you, Todd, and what you do and some advice on moving in springtime. This is Katrina in Wonderland, and obviously I'm your host, Katrina Lee. So we have Todd here from Zito Movers in Buffalo area. And I wanted him on the show, aside from I've known him for a while, and he's my friend. But springtime is coming, moving time. A lot of people kind of got settled during COVID. I know there's a lot of evictions starting where the laws changed so they can boot these people out. We're living rent free, so you're going to have even more moving from that. And, I have some questions I think everyone would benefit a little bit. So, what suggestions and for people who want to find a mover, like a legit, reliable mover? Because Facebook has changed things, like where everyone can be this or that, or you can put an ad on Craigslist.
Yes, very true. With the internet and Facebook, there's a lot of people that advertise that they are professional movers when all they really do is go to U-Haul, rent a truck, rent their equipment, go move you. And that, where the company that I have worked at for the last 10 years has been a family-owned business for 30 years. Our companies, we're fully licensed, we're fully insured. We take care of people, to the best of our ability. Everything happens, and with my line of work, we are licensed. We travel throughout New York State. I've been to New York City for moves. I've been to Albany. I've been to Syracuse. And just be careful, do your research. A lot of people like to take the cheap and easy way out, and, the adage is true. You get what you pay for.
Yeah. Oh, no, I agree with everything in life on that one. Tell some horror stories.
There are...
maybe what we shouldn't do if you're coming to your house, because we don't want that reputation. Or
no,
I'm sure you've had hoarders and just dirty people, like evictions.
Evictions are typically bad because people know that they're getting evicted, so they stop caring. They stop cleaning, and they stop doing this, and, we go in and we're walking in newspapers and magazines that are up to our knees, and stuff that people don't clean. Probably one of the worst places, and we did walk away from this job. We refused to do it. We were in the city, and as I was walking upstairs to take an inventory of stuff we needed to move, as I was going up on their carpets were sticking to my feet and then pulling away from the stairs themselves.
Nice.
So we graciously declined to do their move and left.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Do you ever get any calls or anything? Have you ever worked with like the Hoarder Show? Was anyone like that in Buffalo that like I know they call probably specific people?
Yeah, nothing with that. I think for a show like that, they have their own company in mind. Like when Rex Ryan got to be coach of the Bills, we got all excited because he'd be moving to Buffalo. And we're like, yes, maybe we'll get to move him, but the NFL has their own movers that they use. But we have moved Buffalo Sabres. We have moved Buffalo Bill players. J.P. Lossman, that used to play with Buffalo, our company moved him. Stevie Johnson, who played with the Bills, our company moved him. And we moved a couple Buffalo Sabres as well.
Very cool. So, what's your favorite story? Like any fun things, like any cool items you saw in these houses, or?
Yes. We've seen it all from moving doctors and stuff. Like people have human skulls and stuff. Funny that you asked, because on the, you can say maybe weird end of the moving spectrum, today we did a job where we actually moved taxidermy animals. That's
exciting.
One was a full-size caribou and a 6-foot bear and an 8-foot bear.
Those things are actually worth a lot of money.
They are, and they're very delicate, and they're very...
Yeah, no, I used to own a club in Buffalo, and we had a bunch of animal heads and stuff and a coyote, and then people bought them for like $300-$400 a piece, and I was surprised.
Yes.
But I guess you could pretend you hunted it yourself and, brag to your friends or something.
Well, sure, everyone that did the move, we all, took a quick selfie with it, so we can keep it for, our moving records and history of moving.
Yeah, so have any women came on to you or your guys? Like, you're hot movers, you're in the house, like...
Yes, we've had stories where we went to move this lady, and of course, she was drunk, and...
Of course.
So,
it starts into porno?
Well, not so much that. Like, her sister was like, well... She told me there were cute guys coming to move, and so she decided to go change and put on her swimsuit for us because it was the middle of summer, and was hitting on us this way, hoping that maybe she'd get a discount in her move or something. But no, and we've knocked on door and
you had to explain you were there to service her needs, not her there to service your needs.
Yes, we're there to provide a service that is to move your furniture.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you shouldn't be sexually harassed by your customers by wearing sexy bikinis and trying to, reduce their pay by offering you their services.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. So, tell me like a funny story about me with you or something, like a favorite memory.
We've had a few. I would say one would have to go back to your drinking days, which you have stopped drinking now.
I'm so different.
and I guess it is a good thing that I am a mover, because I actually had to move you out of the place we were because you were incapable of getting out yourself.
We were in a strip club.
All right.
And I wanted to dance, and we had surf and turf at the strip club.
At a
I
strip
was
club.
wrecked. I saw all these people I haven't seen in a while, and I really shouldn't have been drinking. Like, that is the peak of my drinking, really. It wasn't hitting me right. So, yeah, it was a struggle.
Yeah,
good times.
The struggle was real that night.
It's a struggle, yeah. Good times. there's some good memories, too. You definitely supplied me with a bunch of Happy Meals.
Yeah.
That was my thing with chocolate milk late at night.
Well, to be honest, it's more for the dogs.
Well, both we share.
Yes.
That's my baby. So I've been watching the show Nailed It on Netflix, and I think it's hysterical. I'm actually like marathon watching it without realizing it because it just goes by so fast. And I have a baking background. I worked in bakeries. I love baking. Cooking I can do. It's just not my favorite thing. And what it is amateur bakers, and they compete for $10K. So there's like they're hysterical recreations of these like gourmet baked goods with fondant and over the top, and some of you're like, I don't even know how they'll make it. But the best part is that everyone has fun. None of the judges are mean. These people's food stinks sometimes, like where they spit out the food, like it's that bad, and they butcher it. And the thing is, you get to watch them as these chefs doing it, and you know they made mistakes, and then you know you're gonna have to eat it. So it's based on taste and looks, and no matter what, no one ever looks like the actual main cake. They all look pretty horrifying because they're amateur people, you know. And the ones who seem to do the best are like graphic design artists, art teachers, because they seem to know like from Play-Doh how to do the fun and like how to do little details.
Everyone can learn to bake. It's
and there's a time
restriction
restriction,
that they can do.
yeah, and so I've been getting a kick out of it. So I really like it. I wish we could set up for my other show and do it, but it's too hard with the kitchens, the time separating everyone. So we could maybe do an online where y'all share into a watch party and compete at the same time, like a Zoom meeting.
Sure. Seems to be the new fad during COVID. Zoom everything.
Note to self, tell my co-host Dave. But yeah, so one of the things that we always want to remember, if we ever get stuck on this show or in a situation that you're at a birthday party or something's going wrong with the cakes, buttercream makes everything stick. Any fondant, molding chocolate, buttercream. Slap some buttercream on Rice Krispie treats and then slap the fondant on it and you got a tree.
But I thought that's what Gorilla Glue was for.
Yeah, no, you know.
Well, it works in hairs, why not on cake?
Right, this guy actually licked the cake and saliva and like was sticking it on, and he said that he felt he lost too because of the saliva in the cake and there's too much root beer extract. And I'm like, oh my god, you know, that's just great, like just saying it. So we'll do a quick song break, just 3 songs, maybe 2 if they're shorter, and we will go talk about the movie that was just released I'm in, and then we'll wrap up the show. Hey, welcome back to Katrina in Wonderland. Check out our new Facebook page, Katrina in Wonderland, and I'm Katrina Lee, and Katrina Lee on Facebook. So I have been a very busy girl over the past couple of years and went from no experience ever in movies or radio or anything to really climbing up, and pretty quickly, especially for this being Buffalo and Rochester. Like, we're not talking about Hollywood, we're not talking about Los Angeles, we're not talking about even Atlanta or like bigger movie hubs like New York City. So we've been getting a lot of movies in Buffalo, and I was willing to travel, work, and put in the effort. So I ended up doing a whole bunch of movies within a span and just building and building. And this to date is my biggest movie so far I've done. Assault at VA 33 you can get on Amazon and a bunch of places. You can catch it in theaters. It's not on Netflix. You got to pay for it. It's worth it. It's actually pretty good. It's the only movie I can say that I like doing them, but that was so far that's been out and released that I liked. I actually could watch it more, and it wasn't boring or cheesy, or I'm not like some small blob in the corner watching some really horrible romance of a hockey like college students and stuff. You know, like just brutal. But this is Sean Patrick Flannery. It has Nicolas Cage's son, Weston Cage, Rachel True. She was one of the witches, the witch with all the burns in the movie, in the burn issue, The Craft. I had a different way I was going to word it, but I don't want to describe it that way with everything going on at other stations. And it was great. So for me, it was really important because it was after I had this huge car accident and I was really mangled. And people don't realize I was doing it 3 weeks after. And I was doing it on a broken ankle with a neck brace, neck fracture, spine fracture. My arm was constructed with metal. I had staples all in my body still and padded with gauze. So I was supposed to die in the movie, and so they got to throw you over and over. Movies are repetition. You do the same thing over and over, all different angles. So I would have had to throw myself on a mat like 100 times, and I would have snapped my arm in half or God knows what. Like, and I couldn't get up and down easy. Like even that, like as I couldn't support my arm and all this stuff. So it was a real struggle doing this movie. And so my friend Christine did it instead, but I had a great role where you can see my face really clear. I'm throughout the whole movie. I'm crying. It's like true starting to act, not just like background. And it was really just, I'm really proud of myself for it. But it was filmed at the Old Children's Hospital in Buffalo. And it was the coldest day when we did it in 2019, the end. and it was 8 degrees in a building with no heat, and there was like no power really operating in any of the rooms, anything, like no, oh my god, no water. So we were all using this disgusting outhouse in the back. Like literally there was one, you're sharing it with the movie stars, and it was so gross, like it is frozen, so you're like wearing your jacket out there, and then you're like trying to hang it up without dropping and vomit and stuff. And bums were actually like going and using the outhouse and stuff, and they were telling you to stop because there's construction things going on. And like these were for everyone, these are the stars, so it just shows how laid back these weren't. Like, oh, I can't work like that and I'll stomp me out. These people just didn't care. It had Rob Van Dam too, the wrestler. I mean, it was a fun crowd with drinking and smoking and everything. It was a good time. No regrets. I got an autographed copy of the script from Nicolas Cage's son Weston, and he's the most attractive man I've ever seen in my life. And most of my friends say it now. I've always been drawn more to Dangerous Men, which I'm not doing anymore. But yeah, the Russian, Ukrainian, the tattoos, Nicolas Cage's eyes. You know, I mean, all shit. And like, he's got the man bun. He can pull it off. Isn't that cheesy and gay? And then he's like screaming at you, threatening you with your life, but then classy. Like, he saves my life. So he's like a kind barbarian. So it was a lot of challenges for me. I filmed another movie recently for a major film production company, which I can't talk about because they're still filming. So that's part of the deal. And I joined the union, which is awesome. So I'm SAG-AFTRA. So I get better perks, better food, and healthcare, and great credit unions and all this stuff. So it is worth it, and it's really hard. There's only 160,000 people in the whole world with this. And I made it, and people try for their lifetimes and don't achieve this. And I did it really quickly. So I'm excited. And I didn't jump into SAG when I could have on my first movie, which was The Purge, when I was Marissa Tomei's stand-in, because I was told you can't do like independent films and stuff like that, and it'd be harder to practice, get the levels. So it's there. I'm excited. Everyone check it out. Assault at VA 33 on Amazon, and we are gonna wrap up the show a little bit early tonight. It's my first show on this, and I just thought I had a lot more time and stuff on topics, and I obviously went through it a little quicker, so we're working on it, getting the kinks out. So everyone, thank you for listening to me on 106.3 Rochester Free Radio, WRFZLP, and my name is Katrina Lee, and you're listening to Katrina in Wonderland.